Go.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Princeton. I just did the 34 Questions podcast. You guys should check it out on wherever he has it posted, social medias. It's really good. Get on it. Watch mine. It was the best. All right. Check y'all later.
What's going on, folks? Welcome to 34 Questions. Today, I have a very special guest, another family member. Shout out to Prince. Welcome to the show, Princeton.
Hey, thanks for having me, Joma. I can say Joma, right?
Yeah, don't worry.
All right, thanks for having me, Joma. I appreciate it. I know it's been a while. Like, you hit me up about this a while ago, and I've been thinking about doing it. We haven't had a good opportunity to get something together. So it's good to finally be here with you on your show. Is this a show?
Yeah, it's a show, man.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm on a show. Hey, let's go. Instagram show. All right.
Yeah, man. Just thank you for being interested on coming on. I know we tried to link up in the past, and it's always hard when you're trying to fit things into your schedule. And at the time too, there was in the very beginning, and like I didn't even know how I wanted to go about it. The format wasn't set, but here you are now. So definitely appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
For those folks who don't know or are unfamiliar with the show, the format goes a little bit of, we do some warm-up questions just to set the tone and get to know my guest as well. We do a little icebreaker, and then we jump into the main portion of the interview where my guest gets to choose a number between 1 and 34. There are 3 levels of questions. Each one has 34 questions, but level 1's easy, level 2's medium, level 3 is hard. Sound good to you, Prince?
Yeah, it sounds like Jeopardy. You can pick the easy questions or the hard ones first.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
For sure, man. Well, my very first question for you, man, is how have you been? You've been doing well. You've been going through it. How you been, Prince?
A little bit of everything. I feel like, and I'm pretty sure you get this a lot, but it's been an unprecedented time for everybody. And I think everyone's been going through it, whatever it is, people have been going through it. So me, myself, I've had my ups, I've had my downs, but end of the day, I've been well. Majority of the time was all I can really ask for, again, during these unprecedented times, these crazy times, scary, whatever you want to call it. I've been well enough. So I'll just keep it at that.
For sure, man. I never got a chance to ask you this, but what's been like the most positive thing you've gotten out of the past year?
I think my family, that's one of those easier ones to kind of reflect on. Definitely my family has been the most positive thing in my life and continues to be. So the love, that we all need is there for me. So I'm appreciative of that.
For sure. Before we go any further, we're gonna hop into the icebreaker real quick. It is a one word spelling bee. You up for it?
Yeah, let's do it. I've never been in a spelling bee, but I've always figured I would be pretty good at it. So let's see.
All right. So this word has been surprisingly easier than the one I used to run with, which was liaison, that you probably have come across. So this is going to be the test for me. If you get it right fairly easily, then I'm going to have to move on. But okay. Let's see if you get it. The word is epilepsy.
Okay. EPILEPSY.
Yeah, no, man.
I got it.
You got it right.
Let's go. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here.
Yeah, man. Represent.
That was kind of hard.
Hey, you got it. You were able to like kind of say it out loud and get the letters. Congrats.
Thank you.
You will be invited to the Spelling Bee episode of 34 Questions against the other guests who have gotten it right. It's going to be hard to do, but we'll see if we can make it happen.
All right, I'm down.
Sure, for sure. All right, let's jump into the warm-up questions, which is, the first one is, what would you like the audience to know about you?
I don't know what kind of audience I got out there, but if I did have an audience, I would want them to know that I am pretty easygoing. Like I'm an easygoing guy. I like to conversate. I like to, like you, get to know people, kind of see what they're about. I think that's always interesting. What else? That I am surprisingly outgoing. I think a lot of people who know me think I'm somewhat of an introvert, but I do have my extrovert type ways about me. So I'm never one to turn down a good time. That probably doesn't sound right, but I like to have fun, especially as you get older, and wiser, hopefully. You're looking to kind of explore more of the world and people. So yeah, that's what I want them to know about me.
Gotcha. I gotcha. My second question is, if someone were to pay a tribute to you, how would you like to be honored?
Ooh, that's a good one. I say a lot, but I think tribute wise, I would just hope that, whoever is making my tribute understands that I'm all about treating people kindly. It's all about caring for the person next to you, or treating someone how you would want to be treated. I think would be hopefully the legacy that I leave behind, and people would serve tribute for me. Is just being a good person. At the end of the day, do you be a good person, and everything else kind of falls in line.
For sure, man. I got you.
Yeah.
And my third question is, on a scale from 1 to 10, how well do you know yourself?
Ooh, I never like to give anything a 10, just because, we can all improve. There's always room for improvement and to get better and to strive for perfection, even though we might not ever get there. So I don't want to say a 10, but I would like to say, I'm gonna leave a little more improvement. I would say 8.5.
8.5. All right.
Yeah.
Why would you say 8.5?
Because 9 is, I feel like, cliche. You don't want to say a 10, so you say 9. So I'm gonna switch it up and say 8.5, just because at the point I am in my life, I feel like there's a lot that I can improve upon, and there's a lot to still know or to understand about myself in that improvement. So 8.5, I think, is good, because I feel like from a young age, I've kind of figured out who I am. I'm gonna kind of break it down in sports terms. My floor was high, but I'm still trying to reach the ceiling. So there's still room to grow there. So I think 8.5 is a fair assessment.
For sure.
Yeah.
And what would you say is your favorite thing about your personality?
That's a lot. No, I'm just playing. I think I keep it light. I like to keep it light. I like to have fun. I like to be funny. I like to bring out that in other people, because I feel like people are hilarious, and some people don't want to they don't want to bring that out because they may think it's silly, or they don't want to seem like or they don't want to make a fool out of themselves. So I like to bring that out and just keep it light, because I think people are hilarious, for the most part. So yeah,
no
everyone
doubt
has their own humor. Yeah.
Before we keep going, man, I just want to say thank you for coming on and opening up. I don't think we've ever had a conversation like this. So, I definitely appreciate, the fact that we can have this conversation now.
Yeah, man. I thank you for inviting me. This and it's probably off topic a little bit, but I haven't ever been on a show like this, and I've been wanting to do it for so long. Like, I've been wanting to have my own show, my own content, my own podcast. So this is like me getting an introductory class into how to do this. So I appreciate you doing it. When I saw it, I really thought that it was a great thing for you, because since I've known you, you've always been kind of an introspective person anyway. You've kind of wanted to get that knowledge on people. So I think this is perfect for what you're doing. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, no doubt. We'll definitely talk off camera about, what you're planning to work on. It sounds dope.
Cool.
Well, we made it to the main portion of the interview. Go ahead, give me a level, and then choose a number between 1 and 34.
All right. So I've always told myself, if I'm ever on Jeopardy and they ask me on the little windows what I'm picking, I'm always picking the bottom. So I want the hardest question first. Give me level 3.
Okay.
All right. And then number 1 through what?
34. They're all.
Oh yeah, obviously.
34.
Duh. No questions. Give me number 6.
6. Okay,
Yes,
man.
sir.
What can bring tears to your eyes?
Ooh. Wow. Can I pick another? No, I'm just playing. So I will admit I haven't, and I'm not trying to sound like a tough guy, but I haven't really cried much in my life. Like there's been a few things that have made me cry and really tear up. So, I guess I'll go with the obvious thing. My grandmother passed away now. It's been over a year. And of course, the emotions behind that were something that I don't think I've ever gone through in my life, because I've never really lost anyone in my life. And I hope that wasn't a question that you have already. I've never lost anyone close to me besides my grandmother, and that close to me, I should say. And that's definitely something that would just make me cry. 100%. So losing someone close to me, very close to me, is a tearjerker for me, for sure.
I got you, man. Yeah, I remember I had heard the news, and it's always weird, man, because I don't know how to reach out, and it's not like I didn't. You know how something happens to somebody, and you're like, should I say something? Should I try to be there for them? I don't know them as well, so yeah, I was kind of caught in that place, but
No, it's all good, man. I'm like that. I'm the same way. I think me and you are very similar in a lot of things. So I think I feel like that too. When I know someone and they're going through something, I don't know really how to respond to that all the time. And don't worry about it. It wasn't anything that I took as a slight. It was just, for me, I just wanted to support my family, because that's my mom's mom, and I had to be there for her, my aunties, and that's the main thing that was on my mind, is just kind of coming together as a family. But I appreciate you mentioning that you were kind of had me in your thoughts. That's really all I can ask for, and I know that, so because we've had so much history together, so it's all good.
Yeah, man, for sure. Well, aside from being a tough guy, there was never like a song that you heard that kind of like hit you so hard that you're like, oh damn. Because like even if it's just a happy song, just because the beat is like, it just hits you in a different way, that you're just like, damn, that's a good song.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm not as big of a music fan as you are. I know you're a huge music fan, but I think everyone, or a lot of people, mostly have very strong relationships to certain songs and certain music, and I'm no exception. So I will say there's one song that moves me. I don't know about now, but did move me, and that was Whitney Houston singing the national anthem. That shit, bruh. Like, I don't, it's hard to say it sometimes nowadays, but I felt proud, man, to be an American, dude. Like, I was like, yes. Sing it, Whitney, sing it, bro. Like, yeah, it gave me goose pimples. I started welling up. Yeah, that's the one for sure.
Damn, man, maybe you want to sign up for the army, huh?
Hey, it's something, you know what I'm saying? Either become, go in the military, or become a singer or something. I don't know, just to be close to that kind of energy. That was amazing. Yeah,
I got you. And no movies don't make you. For me, I'm a sucker for movies, bro. Like, if I see a scene where I think the action just like brings me there, makes me feel those emotions, I'm gonna take off my glasses, act like I'm cleaning them. But
hey, who cutting onions in here, bro? Like, yeah. No, I can't say a movie. Not okay. So there's been a movie that made me cry from laughter, but not from like somber emotions.
What was the one with laughter?
Kings of Comedy.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen that? I've seen that in the theaters. I couldn't breathe, bro. I was dying. Everybody in the theater was dying. I couldn't believe how, because I didn't know, I had never seen stand up from Bernie Mac or D.L. Hughley or any of these guys. And so when I saw it for the first time, bro, I was crying. There were tears, just tears, like full-fledged, like sprinkler hose tears, bro. It was crazy. But yeah, that's the only time when I was laughing so hard.
How old were you when you saw it in the theaters?
I couldn't have been like early 20s, 22, 23, something like that.
Yeah, that's prime.
It was hilarious, bro.
No, actually, I'm not gonna front, man. I haven't seen it, so I need.
You gotta
to get
watch
on
it.
that. Yeah, I need to get on it.
So it may be a little different now because comedy is a lot different, and you may have a different expectation. But watch it anyway. It's a classic.
Like, who were the kings of comedy? And do you remember them? Let me ask you that first.
Yeah, Bernie Mac, D.L. Hughley, Cedric the Entertainer. And there was 4 of them. Bro, who was the last one?
Ooh.
Nah, I can't remember. But the host was who's the dude with the big mustache, the thick ass mustache, bald head, Family Feud. Steve Harvey was the host. Yeah.
He was the host, but not a king. Damn, that sucks.
He was the host because these guys were OGs. You know, they've been doing it. And Steve was doing it, but not like these guys. I think they're a step above. So.
Oh, bro, I looked it up, bro.
I'm going to get some flack. The fact that I don't remember the 4th guy, some people are going to dog me out for that. But go ahead. What is it?
Well, I looked it up.
What is it?
And Steve Harvey's the 4th king, bro. He wasn't just a host.
Wait, what? Who introduced Steve Harvey? Okay, so this is the format. The way it went was Steve was out there and he would like hype up the crowd and then he would make his jokes, blah, blah, blah. He would do a stand-up, but then he would introduce people. So I always thought it was like him introducing 4 of the guys, but okay, that makes sense. That's why I couldn't think of. So technically I was right. I did name 4.
No, I take that. I was going to ask you, how would you rank them personally for you?
Bernie. So I'll go 1 through 4. It's Bernie, DL, Cedric 3. Not but Cedric 4.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and Steve Harvey 3. Yeah.
Remember, y'all, it's just personal taste. It's
subjective.
Yeah, exactly.
Opinionated. Yeah.
For sure, man. Before we jump into the next question, I do want to throw a curveball at you. Okay. This first one, you get to choose fill in the blank or a shout out question, but then just know whichever one you choose, you're going to do the other one later on.
All right, bet.
So which one, fill in the blank or a shout out question?
Fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank.
Yeah, shout outs is for the end anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, maybe that's something I'll change. I'm too young to blank.
I don't want to get too like dark, but I'm too young to die. I'm too young to die. Yeah, I'll just say that because you feel like I feel like I just have a lot in front of me still, and I do. And whoever's up there willing, I'll continue to have a lot of time left. Not a lot of time because that's subjective too. Who knows? Time and anyway, that's deeper than I want to go. But I'm trying to say I'm too young to die because I still have a lot to do. I have a 10-year-old, I have a beautiful family. There's so many things to do still in my mind. So that's the first thing that came to my mind when you asked that question.
For sure, man. And damn, Jacob is 10.
He's about to be 11.
Bro, that's moving fast. Yeah, next
I know.
month, right?
It's crazy. Yep. All of our birthdays in May. You know how it is.
Yeah. All Tauruses.
You too.
Yeah, me too, man. At the end, people always assume that I'm Aries, but it's
you on a borderline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe in astrology?
A little bit. I do. It's like I know people talk about how it's catered towards being very vague in general. But I've seen enough evidence where I'm like, you know what? That person is a Gemini. You know what I'm saying? Like, that person is acting like, a Virgo. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in it to an extent.
Do you think what traits of a Taurus do you feel like you exemplify? Like, oh yeah, that's me.
Stubbornness.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. Stubbornness. Bro, that's why, and that's probably the biggest reason why I believe in it is because I look at myself and I'm like, yes, that is me. But very loyal, down to earth, all that stuff. And all the Tauruses that I've met, that I have history with, are just like that. We're very similar. So yeah, I believe in it.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I feel like all the other tourists I've met have been similar too.
Yeah.
It's a trip. It's a trip.
So that connection.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about had mentioned earlier, maybe even off camera, but school that you went back. What's that been like for you?
Oh man, it's probably been the biggest change in my life besides the pandemic. Going back to school at the age that I'm at is not rare, but you just don't see it all the time. And there are different challenges maybe with being my age and trying to pursue a 4-year degree. But with that said, I've always been pretty confident in myself and being able to learn, being able to apply myself to school. So it's had its challenges, but at the same time, it's been pretty fun knowing that, I'm closer to reaching certain goals in my life. And at this point, I have a couple semesters left, and I'm looking to transfer to finish out my bachelor's. So that'll be exciting.
That's dope, man. I'm gonna have to ask you some questions about that because it's something that's been on my mind too.
Yeah.
To go back and take some classes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Sure, for sure. May I ask what you're going back for, or you want to keep that a secret?
Oh, no, it's cool. I'm just getting a business degree, business management with an emphasis on human resources.
Dope. Yeah. Business. That's.
Yeah, business is vague. It's broad enough where it kind of leaves things open to interpretation and what you would like to do in a career. But human resources is something that I've been interested in ever since I think I got an office manager job about 7-8 years ago. Kind of opened my eyes to like, hey, I like doing this. So I like working with people. I like being a people solution kind of spot in office. I like office work. I know it's kind of boring, but it's all good. Like I don't need to be. Oh, maybe that's a deeper conversation too. But I don't need to be doing things like at the highest level per se. But I definitely want to be able to challenge myself and have a career. That's been a goal of mine. And then maybe further down the line, I can look into continuously climbing. Kind of like you. You graduated. You've been graduated for a while now, but now you're looking to maybe go back and kind of increase your education. So that's kind of what I've been looking at doing.
Yeah, man. And I think there's something valuable in going back when you're older. I graduated, honestly, man. Like, I think maybe I've told you, maybe I haven't, but I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It was
in college or after?
Continuously for the past 10 years.
Oh, hey, you know what? That's a lot of people, man. Don't even feel bad, and you probably don't, but that's a lot of people. Like, even the person, my wife, she got out of college and she graduated at a young age, but she's not doing what she thought she was going to be doing at a college, and she probably told you that. And it happens to a lot of people. I hear it all the time. Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm out of college now, but what do I do now? What do I do next? I just think, again, it's another conversation, but I just think the college system is just culturally something that people think they should be doing, but don't really know what they're doing it for. So we'll see.
Yeah, they at least in, I don't know, maybe it's just California, because I don't know if other states, they have a different approach to it, but it definitely made it feel like, oh, it's normal. It's the next thing. You're supposed to go like you went to high school, like,
right.
I can't imagine being like, oh no, I don't want to go to high school, but
yeah.
But yeah, for college, but I think now with the pandemic, that might be changing things for this generation that's applying. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to too many high schoolers, but I have seen a lot of companies, maybe you have too, coming out with their own programs, their own certificates, just so like, oh, I got my Facebook certificate in data analyzing or whatever, and it's like, oh, you work for Facebook, nah, but it's just a certification program.
I've heard of that. Yeah, I heard about that a few years ago. Someone brought that to my attention. It's interesting. You're right. Things are changing because of the pandemic. Companies, businesses are realizing they can do things differently and still be successful, or provide something to people who weren't able to obtain it before. So I'll be interested to see what comes out of it, out of all the things that come out of this pandemic, just the way of life, culturally, all types of things. But yeah, man, college has been interesting, but it's been a good experience overall.
Nope. Go ahead and throw me another level and number.
All right, let me go for the easy one now. That wasn't too bad, but I'm gonna go for the easy one because I wanna relax a little bit, So let me get level 1, and I'll take let's take a bigger number. Let's go 31.
What changes have you seen the world go through?
In the last few years, or in my lifetime?
In your lifetime.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that hasn't happened that should have happened. Cars should be flying, bro. Like when I was younger, they promised us this. They said year 2000, man, we're gonna have flying cars. We ain't got no flying. We ain't even got cars that can really drive themselves. It should be crashing on the freeway right now. Like these cars don't work right. Anyway, one thing that has changed in my lifetime, the internet, man. Like I'm dating myself, but I remember the days where as a kid, you didn't have, the internet. You didn't have these devices that you can access immediately and see everything that's happening in the world. You had your toys and you had the TV. You didn't have the interaction with people, instantaneous interaction with people. You didn't know someone's opinion from South Carolina who lives in a 2-story apartment's opinion on, the president or whatever it is. You didn't have comment sections. You didn't have all of this social interaction information. That has, I think, changed the world tremendously for the better and for the worse, depending on how you look at it. So that's definitely the biggest thing. And I can't imagine how, what was that, over 38 years? I can imagine another 38. What's next? What's the big thing that's going to change next with the world? Because the internet has changed everything on how we live, from A to Z.
So you mentioned for better and for worse. How has the internet made it better?
I think, so I'm going to just speak on the engagement, right? Social engagement, because there's so many other things that the internet provides that I guess can be considered good. But from my standpoint, I think the social interaction is good in a sense because it allows people to express who they are and to give that type of insight to other people who may not have known who these people were, or maybe their culture, or, how they thought of things. Maybe can open up other people's minds to other ways of life and how other people live. Just think of someone back in the day in Alabama, and I'm not trying to knock Alabama, but there are people there who have somewhat of a closed-minded way of thinking about, let's just say, Black people, for instance. When people in California are completely different, but that type of engagement wasn't really around back then. So we just had our stereotypes in our mind and our judgments. But now, with social interaction, you can see, hey, these people over here are different than what I thought. They're not all just surfer guys, or they're not all just valley girls in California. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people who are like me over there. And it sounds simple and it sounds like, well, duh, there are other people like you around the country. But for us to actually see and interact with these people, it just brings a new level understanding. That's a good thing. The bad thing though is social interaction because, on the other hand, we can see every little comment that someone thinks. Everyone has a soapbox. Everyone can see what everyone else is thinking. And depending on who you are, that can lead to some pretty profound things. People can have a say in any little thing and it can affect somebody. Let's just say, these young superstars, he's like Demi Lovato, right? Let's just say someone like Demi Lovato, she's famous. Now she has a social media account and there are people who any little person can say any little thing about her, like, oh, she looks fat in this picture. And even though you may think it's of no consequence, she may see that and she may feel some type of way now this person is this superstar is being affected by every little comment that's being said by every little person. And that's something that you didn't have to deal with back in the day. You didn't have to deal with all these people in your head or everyone's opinion on you. Of course, news outlets and stuff like that will be there, but now it's just times 100. And I think it's unfortunate because people have so much power in these in their voice, which is not always a good thing. The fact that they can sway opinion, that now because one person said this controversial thing in a comment section on a YouTube video, it's on the news. Now people and the news the news outlets are painting as, oh, they said this and people are saying that, when it's really just random people going on Twitter or going on YouTube, putting a comment, getting up and doing stuff that has nothing to do with what they just said. They're living their lives and it's inconsequential to them, but it's affecting more than what we think. So I think that, that power that people have sometimes, especially with cancel culture, things like that, is just, it's a little bit too much. And I think it's getting to a point where hopefully there's some type of intervention here, because I look at it and I don't let it affect me, but I just think it's so disingenuous the way people go about posting things on the internet now. So I think the good and bad is both social interaction. There's some good things about it, but there are a lot of bad things about it too.
Yeah, I mean, you had mentioned about an intervention. Could that be seen as like some form of censorship? I mean, I get it though. I get it. I feel like, it's so easy to be out of sight, out of mind when leaving these comments. For a lot of people out there, they'll say something super negative, just turn off their phone and walk away, and not knowing, that whoever reads it is going to be affected in some type of way,
Exactly.
But you tell that to my face or, in person, then it's a whole different thing, like.
Yeah, exactly. But, intervention. So yeah, maybe, that's not quite the word, but I just, for a cultural shift, I think maybe something needs to happen culturally, and I don't know what it is, but I just feel like that the power needs to be taken away a little bit from people being able to just, and actually, now that I think about it, Twitter has done something like that recently. They made it where when you post a tweet, you can set it to where only people that are kind of close to you, that you've kind of set up on your account to be able to respond, can respond. Otherwise, you can't leave a comment. And I think that's kind of the steps that I'm talking about. Maybe that's like the beginning of, because Twitter is probably the most used social app, or one of the most used. So I'm pretty sure Twitter understands, the power that people have on these platforms. So I think that's one step that they've been taking to try to curve a lot of this negative feedback that people get on their timelines. So yeah, I'm glad you run that up, because Twitter's already trying to handle that. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm just curious, what's your choice of social media?
I use Twitter a lot, but I use Twitter for entertainment for the most part. I don't engage really at all.
I gotcha. Yeah, I've never been able to figure out Twitter, man. Every time I try to get on and like, okay, let me post something. I don't know how where it's going. I try to let me comment. I don't know even how I can comment.
Don't do it. Yeah, you know what? I suggest if you're not on Twitter, don't worry about it. What do you use right now?
I'm a big Redditor, and
I knew it. I was going to say Reddit. I know you be on Reddit. Yeah, Reddit is good. I just can't. I got to Reddit late. I was already absorbed in Twitter, where I wasn't able to really see the value in Reddit as much. But I jump on there every now and then. But for the most part, I just jump on Twitter for entertainment, just kind of see, check on sports, video games, things like that. But I never engage. I never leave comments, even though I want to. There's been plenty of times where I was like, what are you talking about? And I'd be typing something up and I think about it for a minute. Nah, let me delete that. And I just keep pushing. I just keep pushing, bro. Like, I ain't gonna do it.
I want to try live tweeting. You ever live tweet during a game? Just doing your thoughts, like,
ooh, that would be dope.
Yeah, that's a whole different game. Like, yeah, something to try for the upcoming season.
Yeah,
Live tweeting
maybe.
for sure. And I was gonna ask you, what do you think is gonna be the next technology advancement? Like, we hear about, I don't know. I heard about those earbuds that can translate any language. In real time. So you're conversing with somebody who speaks a different language, you'll be able to understand each other. I think that's great because, like, the internet, it kind of helps us communicate better,
Yeah.
And instead of taking something so offensive just because the tone is different, it could be like, oh,
Right.
they just said hi or whatever. But
that's amazing. That sounds very promising. Yeah.
But when it comes to like an implant that would like do the same thing or like give you unlimited connectivity, they're probably gonna sell it with like free Wi-Fi if you get this implant, like wherever you go. but yeah, how do you feel about that?
Implants. How I feel about implants?
Like like a technological implant. You pass, nah, or
yeah.
Don't give it a shot.
Yeah, I don't know because of course people are gonna say, "Oh, dude, you're gonna use that to track you, and you're never gonna be safe, and you're even on your own home." And I'm like, dude, I have a phone. Like, I'm pretty sure they track me on that shit all the time. It's nothing new. If I would have to see. I have to wait and see if it makes my life easier. If it makes things more convenient for me, I like convenience. I like when things are easier, especially like the day-to-day stuff. If something gives me the ability to not have to think too much about it, those are the advances that I like. So, it depends on what it did for me. Yeah, I remember a few years ago, or not a few years ago, longer than that, they were talking about how they're wanting to use the implant chip where you can use it as a credit card. And you can just go to a grocery store and put your arm on the on the sensor and pay like that. That would be sick. I'm about that. You know what I'm saying? I want that. I want one of those. I want to be able to just go to the store, be like, beep. You know what I'm saying? Go to the bar, be like, hey, let me get 2 drinks. Beep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that'd be super cool. Or like buying a house, put it on here. Beep. You know what I'm saying? Just put it on my hand right there, my wrist. I think that's sick. I would love to see something like that. Other than that, though, I feel like the next big tech thing is probably going to be in cryptocurrency. I feel like there's going to be something around cryptocurrency where they make it easier for people to invest in it. It's going to be more in our face. So I'm looking forward to that because it's still very mysterious to me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you had any crypto advice.
No. You have crypto advice? I'll take some. I don't know what crypto is, but I know it's really taken off at this point.
It's in a nutshell, from what I heard and what people tell me, it's basically like, we're telling the whole world, like, we don't want your paper money. We don't value it anymore. What we value is data. And so this data is going to turn into our currency. So now everyone's trying to make money off all sorts of data. One of the ones that I kind of like, I'm excited for, just because I got into it super early and like, when it was 0.003 cents or whatever, it's this one called Tron, Tron. But the confusing thing about it is if you're going to follow cryptos, a lot of them do the same thing, and a lot of them are banking on being the one that everyone's going to use, right? So this one in particular is about entertainment. They want to be the crypto for entertainment. I have no idea what the fuck that means, but I'm like, I like entertainment. I know entertainment's going to be around, and this is the first one I've seen that's dabbling into it. So I'm like, let me put some money in there. So that's how I approach it, because man, I had a lot of people tell me about Bitcoin, and I missed that boat, and people are like, it's not too late, but kind of late.
It's kind of too late, bro. It's kind of too late. Hopefully bring out some tech that helps me understand what the hell they're talking about, because I need that. I need, like, maybe just implant that in my brain, because it just doesn't make sense to me. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure eventually it will. I didn't know what stock market was for the longest. Now I understand it. So we'll see. But I think that's the next big tech breakthrough. I don't know what it's going to look like, but give it another 10 years and we'll see.
You seen them ATMs? They got Bitcoin ATMs in ceremony now.
See?
Yeah, and I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah, they're gonna have Bitcoin debit cards. They're gonna have Bitcoin checks. I don't know. It's going to be all.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to be, but we'll see. Did you hear about the guy? And I had to look this up. But there's an NFL player who signed a contract, and he actually asked for Bitcoin, like part of his contract to be paid out in Bitcoin.
I do remember that story. I can't remember the guy too, but I know he was a lineman.
He was a lineman.
But he put all his whole salary into Bitcoin, and then it worked out for him right now.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, the thing about playing stocks, I don't know. Are you comfortable with doing that kind of stuff? Because it can drive some people crazy, man. And I got to like after I invest, I delete the app just so I don't have to feel like I don't need to check
it every day.
It'd be like, oh no, it went down, and then hell yeah, it went up.
Yeah, every day just going through the ups and downs, bro.
Yeah, man. So I mean, the best way I do is I delete it and check it later on.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Sometimes you just need to not have it there to avoid it completely. Otherwise, you're gonna do something, you're gonna check it because you can't help it. But yeah. I don't invest heavily right now, but I understand it. That was the big thing for me. I didn't understand it for so long, but I sat down, and of course, you can Google anything at this point. And I just got a firm grasp. So I think going forward, if the investment opportunity for me presents itself, then I'll be ready to go.
Sure, for sure. I mean, me, I have some stuff invested in like the cannabis industry. Just because once it becomes federal, I think a lot of those stocks are gonna get a jump, and right. I just hear a lot of news about the bill for federal legalization is coming up. So yeah, it's just a waiting game. But yeah, it's
a long play.
It is, and that's the thing. Like people want it to be like a get rich scheme, but stocks really isn't like that. The people I know who take it seriously are like on it when the opening bell opens all the way to the end, because they're trying to squeeze every dollar that they can. But it works out for them. Go ahead and throw me another level and number, man.
All right, so we haven't done level 2 yet. Let's do that, and I'll take number 17.
So you've been learning a lot of things. What's something that you wish you could unlearn?
Procrastination, probably. If I can learn how to not be lazy, that'd be amazing. I know we all go through it, but yeah, I feel like that's something learned, over time, and it gets really bad. So I would like to delete that from my mind, at the very least, just to start over in the process, because I think I'm probably just going to build up to being lazy again. But my amount of laziness right now is pretty high. So if I can unlearn it now, that'd be great.
I mean, you think it's a tourist thing? Because I'm pretty lazy too, bro.
It's various. Being a tourist, being maybe young, being in a pandemic, it's all kind of reasons. But if I had to unlearn it, I would unlearn that.
I got you. Yeah, man. I mean, for me, I feel like I've been procrastinating. I've been saying on the podcast 10 years of failure, which is also 10 years of procrastination. I'm finally getting into that point where like I don't feel like I have as much time as I did before. So it always feels like I gotta push. I thought maybe it's because I turned 30 last year, and now it's that's where I'm at.
Yeah, it happens, man. It hits people differently in different phases of their lives. I think when they start realizing, damn, I want to get some things done. I got to get this done, and I got to start doing it now. People go through that, and it's a natural process, and I think it pushes us. But sometimes you got to be lazy to appreciate when you're not, to appreciate when you're productive that much more. It's kind of like anything, right? It's dark and light. You got to have darkness to understand what light really means, and vice versa. So that's just how that works.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I definitely appreciate now with the value of actually like progressing and doing something every day compared to what I was doing before. And Yeah, I had another thought, but it's fleeting now. Anyways, just to let you know, we got about 10-15 minutes left in the podcast. I just want to thank you again for coming on. It's been a blast for me, man.
Dang, it's already been almost an hour. This shit is flying.
Which is great, man. It's great. And yeah, I mean, just to let you know, I don't know if you ever heard me say it before, but anytime like I have to introduce you to folks that I know or whatever, I just tell them you're like my big bro, man. Like you've been that figure in my life for so long, and just want to let you know now than before it's too late. But definitely appreciate you, man.
They ain't talk about things that gonna make me cry, man. I'm saying this might be one of them, man. Nah. No, that's a good way to kind of describe our relationship. I think, when I first got to know you, it was from a distance because, me and my wife got together at a young age, and I met her family probably the first year. But other than that, I was still going through high school. I was living with my parents, my mom, so I didn't get to see you guys. But then as we got older and we got our own place, we started having family functions. I started to meet everybody and hang out with them a lot more. And you were always, especially when you got older, the kind of person that I saw and I related to the most, just from an energy level, just from kind of a vibe standpoint, not because we were close in age, because we're really not that close in age, but we had just a lot in common naturally. So it was always easy for me to approach you and be like a little brother. Because I don't have any siblings, I don't have any natural siblings. I have in-laws now that I consider my siblings, but and you guys are the people that I looked as brothers and sisters. So I guess that's just my way of expressing how I would have a relationship with a brother would be kind of like with you. So yeah, man, I always try to kind of see what's going on with you every time we would visit you, or I would see you at a party, just because you weren't the quietest person, but you were pretty quiet. So when you see the person in the corner, they're quiet, you're like, what's that guy up to? Like, what is he thinking? So I wanted to go over there and be like, hey, John, what's up? What's going on? This is kind of what I do. Like, I want to open you up a little bit just to kind of see, because I'm curious.
I mean, why I was quiet, but yeah. But yeah, that's just who I was before, and trying to find better balance when it comes to that. Because I don't think I'm a quiet person, but I'm sure a lot of people that have met me throughout my life would probably tell me I'm quiet, and I'm like, really? I thought I was talkative. I thought I liked having conversation, but.
Yeah, balance is key. You're right, but that's why I said in the beginning, like when you asked me what do you want people to know about you, and it's that I can be introverted. I can definitely seem like an introverted person, but I actually have a lot of like extrovert qualities about me, and I think you do too, especially as you've gotten older. I don't want it to say like you're quiet now, but before when you were really young, you were. But I think a lot of people are, so it's all good.
I mean, are you the type of person to like? When you see somebody wearing a dope shirt, you'll be like, yo, that's a cool shirt, man, and then just keep it moving? Or because
yeah, it depends on my mood, but I like engaging with people like that, because maybe catch them by surprise. They look at me sometimes and be like, oh, this guy, he seems like he's kind of mean or blah blah blah. So I just like to do the total opposite, because I am the total opposite from sometimes people see me walking down the street and I'm you got that resting face that makes you look like, oh shoot, he looks mad. But then when I meet someone, I want to bring that side of me that is who I am, and that's like light. I keep it light, funny. So yeah, I would be that person to be like, hey man, I like your shirt, it's kind of nice, where'd you get it? Cool. Just keep it moving. Yeah, I think you're kind of like that too.
No, I'm definitely that person, man. Like anytime I see something, or like I just want to give somebody props, like I know. I think someone said, I heard like, or when someone gives you a piece of clothing, the best thing you can do is wear it when they're around, so they know that that you're wearing their gift or something. Same thing with clothing. Like if you wear it, if you get 2 compliments on it, it was worth it. And so yeah, I'm just trying to put that out there. So that being said, let's try to get one more question from the levels. Okay. Which one would you like to go for?
Right. Yeah, let me get one more level 3. And I don't want to give me question 34, man. Let me see what you got for me with the 34th question. You know, that's what the show's about.
Yeah, man. This one I think is one of the easier ones on level 3. But
wait, do you get this a lot? Do people ask you for question 34 a lot?
They do, actually. They do. You know, the biggest numbers are 8, 24, and 34.
Okay, I don't want 34.
I got a lot of Kobe fans.
Oh, okay. I don't want 34. Sorry. Give me nah. Because I want to keep it fresh a little bit. Give me number 8, the number of my. No, sorry. Give me number 28, the number of my favorite football player, Marshall Faulk. Let's go.
All right, man. I'm curious, man. What does paradise look like for you?
Paradise is something that I don't really think of too much, just because it just feels like a fantasy, and I don't really live. I try not to live too much in fantasy. I like to live in the present, in reality. But we all fantasize. You know, and I'm someone who does. So I would say a place where people just, and I hate to sound like cliche, but people just got along. Like, people have understanding for differences and respect for other people's opinions, and minding their business. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta mind your business, bro. Like, you gotta just focus on you. Don't worry about what someone else is doing. Don't worry about one thing they said 10 years ago. You know, don't worry about, you know, what you think they are, you know, when they said this, what are they getting at? You know, just some people get so wrapped up into other people, and they have so many things in front of them that they need to take care of in their own lives, to make them better people. Because at the end of the day, that's what you want to do anyway. You make yourself better, because that is going to translate to you treating people better anyways, because you're going to feel better about yourself. You're not going to, you know, try to transfer this negative energy to other people because you're frustrated, because you're upset. And that happens so many times, or so much, you know. So that's paradise for me. A place, whatever it looks like, that up here, people have it up here to say, I understand where you're coming from, or I respect your opinion. You know, mine may be different, but that's fine. We're different people. Or, you know, I'm not too worried about what you're doing. You know, I'm going to worry about myself and making myself better. I think that would go a long way into making a better place for everyone to live, and what I would be considered like a paradise. Because, you know, physically, anywhere can be a paradise. You know, as humans, we can make anywhere a paradise, you know, as far as our needs and wants. But, you know, changing people's mindset and giving people that peace to say, you know, I don't need to be mad at this person, or I don't need to fight with this person. I don't need to label this person this, or having these negative thoughts and feelings towards this person that I don't even know. I think, and it goes back to social interaction, you know, that bad side of social interaction. I think if we could turn that worldview, that culture around that we have of, you know, judging people all the time about this, that, and the third, I think we'd just be a lot better off, and that would be a paradise for me.
Do you think that's possible, man? Like, you know, I want to believe that people have that space in their mind to understand that, you know, exactly what you just said. However, I also feel like there's people who know that it is a balance, right? We can't have one with, we need people who don't understand so we can understand, you know? And man, it's tough to think about, because I do imagine what that world would be like, man. It would be kind of like paradise for sure.
Yeah. It's like, that's a good point. Yin and yang, you know, you gotta have the dark with the light, you know, the good with the bad. Otherwise, we don't have a reference. But with that, you know, maybe I should say then, I think it can happen. And I don't think it's black and white. I think people are naturally going to have inside of their mind, you know, these judgmental thoughts, you know, these negative thoughts, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a difference between having thoughts and then projecting that thought and having action. You know, if you have the thought, you know, the growth would be to just have it as a thought and keep it pushing. You know, you don't have to let that person know. You don't have to go on social media and put a comment down. You don't have to, you know, hold people down because of how you feel about them. You know, you can have that thought, but just keep it moving. You know, go worry about something else. Worry about you. Go do you. Is I guess what I'm trying to say. Because you're right. You know, we're always going to have people who, you know, don't understand and don't want to understand. That's fine. But like, stay in your lane. If that's the case, you know, you stop using all that energy and that negative energy pushing on other people, because that's when you have conflict. That's when you have issues. So yeah, maybe that will be something that can change eventually. I kind of am with you. I don't know if that's going to happen, but the reason why people have or this is such a problem is because people have the power to you know, to put their thoughts out there in front of people through social media. And I don't want to just say social media, but it's with everything now. With technology, everyone can get on the keyboard and everyone can put their thoughts out there for people to see. And I just feel like eventually it's going to be such a problem that there's going to have to be a change because of, you know, all these things that are happening. You know, people getting canceled, people losing their jobs, people losing their lives because of this, you know, because of the cyberbullying, all this stuff. And I'm not saying people shouldn't be canceled. Some people out there, they need to be canceled, but you know, it's getting to a point now where, you know, people can't even say something, or people can't even be who they were 10 years ago. Like, someone can pull up something from you 10 years ago and you're canceled. You know, it's just, it's going to get to a boiling point where something's going to need to change. And I just hope it changes for the better. And then I think the world will be a better place when that happens. So we'll see.
For sure. Yeah, it's up in the air. And we could talk about this a lot more maybe another time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, we've reached the concluding portion of the podcast. Right. Yeah. Got a couple more questions for you. And This next one is coming from my previous guest. Shout out to Zenaida and Ashley. I'm laughing because when you hear these questions, you're going to be like, what the fuck?
Wait, so you asked them to give you questions for the next person?
Yeah, I'm going to ask you too after this. But,
oh, shit. All right, that's cool. All right.
Well, it was two people who were on last time, and it's A and B. I'll give you a choice. One is more kind of, they're both kind of like funny and lighthearted. But,
all right, cool.
So, A or B?
I'll take B.
All right, yeah.
Wait a minute, why you say it like that? Like, are you sure about that?
Well, now I got to say it on camera. It's forever immortalized on the podcast. Right. But right. Would you rather eat out of a monkey's ass or clean up pig shit for 5 years? And yeah.
Okay, how many times do I have to eat out the ass?
Just one time. One time out there. And it's like, it's a meal though. Like, you know, it's going to be whatever dinner
chunky?
is.
Do I have to swallow it?
Ooh, I don't know. See, the person who said this was like, oh, you don't even know the rules to it. Cause like I had to answer it. But I was like, but yeah, just with those parameters.
Or clean pig shit for 5 years?
Yeah, just clean.
I hate shit. I swear, I hate shit is probably like one of the worst things to me, dude. I hate looking at it, smelling it, all of that. Like, it's fucking disgusting to me. So this is a very hard question, actually. Eating shit? I can't do it. I can't do it, bro. Like, I can't eat shit. Absolutely not.
Yo, I was saying, if I eat it, that's something that's gonna affect me for the rest of my life. Like, I don't know for myself that I had. There was one time I ate shit. Like, instead of just cleaning, like I could think of it as a job or whatever. You know,
right?
Like,
you might get paid for it. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Like, let me clean the shit from the pigs. I'm not putting shit in my mouth. Absolutely not. No.
I feel that, dog. I feel that.
Yeah. What a question. Why? How long did it take them to come up with that kind of question? Did they just off the top?
That was off top, man. That was off top.
That's what they be thinking about, huh? All right.
I think they do a lot of would you rathers. So, you know, they got some extreme ones, you know.
All right.
But yeah, man. All right. Next question is, what would you like to ask the next guest?
What would I like to ask the next? I want to keep mine light too. I don't want to get into anything deep and philosophical. Let's see. And I'm not gonna make it a shit thing either. That's for sure. I don't know if this is asked already. Maybe it's kind of basic, but I would ask them if you could give up, if you had to give up. Sorry, how about this? If you can only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay.
Yeah, ask them that.
That's a softball right there.
That's a softball, but it's open-ended. You can only eat one thing for the rest of your life. So you have to think about it. If you say cheeseburgers, like, you probably won't have a long life if you're just eating cheeseburgers the rest of your life. So you got to think about something that is balanced, you know what I'm saying, good for you, but also tastes good. And you know, people are foodies, so that's a hard question. I think it's light enough, but it's vague enough. So hopefully that works out for you.
You're the first person I'm gonna do this with, and I'm probably gonna do it again. But what's that for you? I'm flipping that question onto you.
Oh, bruh. Nah, look at you.
The idea just came to my.
That was a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I had something in mind, actually. It's funny. I was thinking of the question. I already thought of the answer, and I totally forgot. I would say sushi. You know why? Because I would say, and specifically, I'm basic as hell. It's like a California roll, because I love California rolls, and they're not super greasy. They're easy to eat. I could eat sushi. I could eat California rolls all day, free. So I would say that, you know, I love California rolls.
Same here, bro. I don't know if I told you I had that one sit-in when I ate 100 California rolls.
What? A sit-in?
Well, I mean, I sit down and, you know.
You sit inside of a house?
Yeah.
And you eat 100? Okay.
No.
A sit-in.
My roommates were gone for the holidays, and I was all like, you know, chilling, and I was like, oh yeah, maybe let me see how much 100 pieces of California rolls were, and it was like $40. I'm like, all right. The dude comes thinking there's like a party or whatever, and then he sees me alone with like, and he's like,
do I have to call somebody? You okay? Man, about to spend a whole weekend eating California rolls by himself in the house. I don't know, bro. You good?
Yeah, I was surprised, man, that I finished it.
And you did it? Oh, yeah. Shit.
Honestly, I was like, yeah.
Were you still hungry after? Bro, you could put down some food back in the day. I remember, dude, like, we would have family get together. Bro, you could eat, dude. Like, you and there's another person who I was with, or I was close to, they could eat too, and they were young. I was like, how are you so young, but you eat as much as I do? And I'm like 2 times your size. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's my special power, I guess.
That's what you about. All right.
But before you go, got one last question for you. And it is the tie-in question to all the podcasts. What would you like your descendants to know about you? You know, 5 generations down the road, they wondering
who that guy is. Yeah. I just hope they know that I'm a person who is accepting of others. I think it's important to be open-minded in life, to be open to new things, of course, but also to be open and tolerant of other people and their opinions and their thoughts and their ways, because at the end of the day, we're all here on the same rock, and you know, we should respect each other. You know, everything, of course, has an exception, but I think overall, I would want them to see me as that person, someone who was loving, caring, accepting, was a people person, and just kept it light. You know, life is short enough for us to be, you know, mad all the time or upset about something, or to go through a life and not appreciate even the little things. I think it's a disservice. You know, I think the fact that you're here, you're one of the billions who've been alive, but there have been trillions who haven't been, and who haven't been able to experience life. So for you to be here, it's special, it's unique. don't take that for granted. I know there's a lot of things in life that suck, but you have to take the positive as much as you can, because who knows, man? You might only get one of these. You can go to sleep tomorrow or tonight, and you never see it again. So just appreciate it, and I hope whoever 5 years or 50 years, 500 years from now see that and be like, damn, he was right. Let me live my life like that. So we'll see.
Oh man, that was a dope ass answer. I really felt like you were talking to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a time capsule. I like what you're doing here. It's definitely something that people may see in the future. Who knows?
Who knows, man? Who knows? Once again, Prince, thank you for your time. Don't leave just yet, but want to thank all the folks out there catching the episode. Thank you for your time as well and interest. And if you'd like to be on, feel free to check out the link in bio. All right, y'all. Still trying to figure out how to end this, and